Previously on The Secret of the Stolen Blueprint.
Who was that?
I don't know, but we need to be careful. Let's go to the old principal's office. We need to find the blueprint before it's too late.
This must be where Principal Thompson kept his most important documents.
We've come this far. We're not stopping now.
Jake examined the safe and noticed a note taped to it.
The key lies in the past.
The words echoed in the small, hidden room. Emma pondered the clue, tapping her chin thoughtfully.
The past. What significant event from the past could be the key?
Maybe the founding date of the school?
Mia nodded.
It's worth a try.
They quickly remembered Crestwood High's founding date, the 19th of July, 1903, because it was chiselled in stone near the school's main entrance. Jake entered the number 190711903, but the safe remained locked.
What about the date the new science wing was approved?
Good idea.
They recalled the date from the school records, the 12th of May 2018. Jake entered that date, 120522018, but the safe remained locked.
What if it's one of these numbers but in a different order?
Just then, Jake snapped his fingers.
Principal Thompson's retirement. It was a major event for the school, and he was known for his love of puzzles and challenges. Maybe he left the combination linked to his retirement date as a final test or message.
Mia's eyes lit up.
That makes sense. Principal Thompson was always fond of incorporating personal milestones into his work. His retirement would be memorable enough to use as a key.
And it fits with the theme of the clue. His retirement was a significant part of Crestwood's history.
They agreed and quickly pulled out their phones to search for the exact date of Principal Thompson's retirement. Jake read aloud from an old news article on the school's website.
It was the 15th of June 2019.
Let's try that.
Mia proposed.
Enter 150622019.
Jake smiled and glanced up at the others one by one, then nodded to Mia, then to the safe. Mia's hand trembled as she reached for the safe's handle. Her breath hitched as she hesitated, the room around her closing in. She could feel the weight of her friends' gazes, their unspoken hopes hanging in the air. Finally, she turned the handle. The sound echoed loudly in the small room, making them all jump. For a moment, the only sound was the pounding of their hearts as they exchanged nervous glances. Mia exhaled a shaky breath, her hand still trembling as she carefully pulled the door open, the rusty hinges creaking in protest. Inside, nestled among a few dusty folders, they found the missing blueprint, neatly rolled and secured with a faded ribbon. Next to it was a yellowed envelope, its edges worn with age. Mia's fingers brushed the envelope's surface as she carefully picked it up, feeling the weight of the secrets it might contain. Mia carefully unrolled the blueprint, her eyes widening at the familiar lines and details. But her attention quickly shifted back to the envelope. With a deep breath, she unfolded the letter inside and began to read aloud.
To whom it may concern. If you are reading this, it means you have successfully located the blueprint. I hid it intentionally to test the resourcefulness and problem-solving skills of the new administration and student leaders. A school is only as strong as its ability to overcome challenges, and I wanted to ensure that Crestwood High remains in capable hands. Congratulations on passing the test. Sincerely, Principal Stevens.
Mia, Jake, and Emma stood stunned as the implications of what they'd just uncovered began to sink in. The blueprint, the letter, the entire mystery, it had all been a setup, a test orchestrated by Principal Stevens. Jake was the first to break the silence, his voice tinged with disbelief.
So, it was all just a test? All this stress and running around for a test?
Emma shook her head slowly, gently taking the letter from Mia's hands.
I can't believe Principal Stevens went to such lengths. Using Principal Thompson's name to throw us off. It feels. I don't even know what it feels like.
Mia, who had been turning the events over in her mind, finally spoke.
Maybe it wasn't just about testing us. Maybe it was about teaching us something. But what exactly? I don't know. Perhaps Principal Stevens believed we needed to experience this to understand the importance of teamwork and problem solving. I'm not sure.
But was it really necessary? We could have just, I don't know, had a discussion or a workshop instead of this wild goose chase.
Emma sighed, folding the letter carefully.
In a way, I think he wanted us to feel the pressure, to see how we'd react when everything was on the line. It's one thing to talk about leadership in theory, but another to actually live it.
Mia nodded slowly, her expression thoughtful.
Well, we've certainly felt the pressure. And we've indeed learned more about each other and ourselves. Maybe that's what he was trying to achieve.
There was a moment of quiet as they processed the truth. Mia finally spoke up, her voice firm.
We deserve answers. We need to know why Principal Stevens chose to test us this way.
Jake stood up straight, determination in his eyes.
Let's go talk to him. No more guessing, we're getting the full story.
With a shared look of resolve, the trio made their way out of the hidden room and back through the quiet hallways of Crestwood High. The weight of what they had uncovered hung in the air, but now they were ready to confront the man who had set it all in motion. After discovering the blueprint and the letter, Mia, Jake, and Emma confronted Principal Stevens. Principal Stevens smiled as the students knocked and entered his office, holding the blueprint and letter.
I see you've passed the test.
A hint of pride in his voice. Mia held up the letter and spoke her mind abruptly.
But why go through all this trouble? What if we hadn't found the blueprint in time? The whole project was at stake.
Principal Stevens shook his head gently.
I understand your concern, Mia. But this wasn't just about finding a blueprint. It was about preparing you for the unexpected and the challenges you might face in the real world. You'll often find yourself in situations where you must think on your feet, work as a team, and solve problems under pressure. I wanted to simulate that kind of scenario for you.
Emma let out a sigh of relief.
So, the project was never in danger?
Exactly. I wanted to create a real scenario that would push you to think critically and work as a team. But I would never put the future of the school at risk.
Jake frowned, still skeptical.
But why so elaborate? Couldn't you have just given us a simpler challenge?
Principal Stevens nodded, understanding their concerns.
The complexity was intentional, Jake. I needed you to experience something that felt real, something that would test not only your problem-solving skills, but also your resilience and determination. A simpler challenge wouldn't have pushed you to your limits the way this one did. By using Principal Thompson's name and creating a high-stakes situation, I aimed to see how well you would perform when you believed everything was on the line.
So, it was never really about the blueprint? It was about how we handled the pressure.
Exactly, Emma. The blueprint was just a vehicle for the lesson. What you have there isn't the real blueprint. The real blueprint was never at risk. What mattered was how you communicated with each other, strategized, and didn't give up even when the situation seemed hopeless. These qualities will make you strong leaders in the future.
Mia's expression softened.
So, it was more about how we worked together under pressure rather than finding the blueprint.
That's it. You demonstrated leadership, teamwork, and critical thinking, all qualities that will serve you well in the future. The complexity of the test was intentional, but the risk was controlled. And now, I hope you see that it was never about the blueprint. It was about preparing you for the challenges ahead.
As they walked back through the school's quiet hallways, what they had uncovered weighed heavily on Mia. The relief of finding the blueprint, albeit fake, was mixed with physical and emotional exhaustion. She glanced at Jake and Emma, who seemed equally drained, yet there was a sense of pride in their eyes. They had done it together. But questions still lingered about the test, about themselves. Mia thought back to all the clues, the carefully placed notes, the way they had been forced to think critically and rely on each other at every turn. It was more than just a puzzle, it was a reflection of the kinds of challenges they might face after they left Crestwood High. Challenges where there wouldn't be a clear path, the stakes would be high, and they would have to make quick decisions under pressure. Principal Stevens created this test to push them and see how they would respond when everything was on the line. He used Principal Thompson's legacy to give the challenge weight and make them take it seriously. He showed them that leadership wasn't just about making the right choices, it was about working together, staying calm under pressure, and never giving up. The next day, as the morning sun filtered through the windows of Crestwood High, Mia, Jake, and Emma felt the full weight of their accomplishment as the school buzzed excitedly and word of their success spread. But for Mia, the adventure wasn't over. She knew there were more mysteries to solve and new challenges to face. As she stood with her friends, watching the construction workers break ground on the new wing, she felt excited about the future.
Mia, what are you thinking about?
Oh, just wondering what our next mystery will be.
Why am I not surprised, Mia? Whatever it is, we'll solve it together.
Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work.
As they laughed and chatted, Mia felt a deep sense of satisfaction. She had always loved a good mystery, and now she knew she had the best team by her side to solve whatever came their way at Crestwood High. The case of the missing blueprint was just the beginning, and Mia couldn't wait to see what new adventures awaited her and her friends at Crestwood High.
We didn't know where we were going when we took that first step out. There were questions in the silence, there were things we couldn't work out. Sometimes I was afraid to speak, sometimes I wanted to turn away. But somehow when I looked beside me, you were there. And I don't need to know what tomorrow holds, I only need to know I'm not walking alone. Whatever comes, whatever lies ahead, whatever road we find, whatever words are left unsaid, if the way gets hard, if we lose our way, I'll still be here and I'll stay. Whatever comes, we'll face it together. There will be days we don't have answers, there will be nights we doubt ourselves, there will be doors we can't open and stories we have yet to tell. But we've learned something along the way, something no one had to say. You don't have to carry everything by yourself, and I don't need to know where the road will bend. I only need to know you'll be there in the end. Whatever comes, whatever lies ahead, whatever road we find, whatever words are left unsaid, if the way gets hard, if we lose our way, I'll still be here and I'll stay. Whatever comes, we'll face it together. Maybe we're not ready, maybe we never will be. Maybe that's the point, we don't have to know everything that waits for us, we just have to take the next step, and then the next, little by little. Whatever comes, whatever lies ahead, whatever road we find, whatever words are left unsaid, if the world gets loud, if the night feels long, we'll find our way, we'll carry on. Whatever comes, whatever tomorrow brings, I won't walk alone, you won't walk alone. We'll face it together.